Okay, now let's take a step back to item 5, the town manager's report.
Always step back. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I am thrilled to share that we've enrolled 10 residents into the Civic Leadership Academy, which will start next Wednesday and run through the October special town meeting. All of the residents that we've admitted are folks that have never served on a board or committee before and have expressed a desire to learn more and get involved. We're using this initial cohort to develop feedback for how to improve the program moving forward. All of our department heads really took this in stride, and they've been working really hard to put together not just meaningful but also engaging presentations. So I think the folks that have signed up are in for a great time. I'd like to thank Senator Kennedy, who was able to secure a $75,000 earmark through the recently signed fiscal year 25 state budget for the construction of our new DPW building. This will be on top of the $450,000 that was approved by town meeting in the fiscal year 24 capital budget, and on top of the funding that the Sewer Commission will contribute, which is based on the intermunicipal agreement signed with them last fall. Additionally, a big thanks to State Representative Garry, who was able to secure $50,000 in a local action earmark for safety equipment for the Tyngsborough Fire Department. So we made out much better than many other communities did in the fiscal year 25 budget, and now we just hope that the administration doesn't cut them like they did last year's. Last week, Chief Russell coordinated an advanced emergency planning and preparedness meeting ahead of the August 24th Party by the Bridge. We had a very productive conversation with key leaders and event organizers to ensure that we're prepared should a natural disaster, severe weather event, or other man-made crisis take place during the event. As a reminder, the event begins at 11 a.m. on Saturday, August 24th in the town center and ends at dark with fireworks over the Merrimack River. Motorists are advised that there will be road closures along Kendall and Winslow and a lane closure along Middlesex Road. Additionally, the Tyngsborough Bridge will be shut down not just to vehicular traffic, but also to pedestrian traffic during the fireworks. So if you're planning on crossing the bridge, I would do it before 8 o'clock to avoid the traffic. On that note, the Affordable Housing Trust will have a table at the block party on August 24th to solicit feedback from residents on what they want to see included in our updated housing production plan. There are also several other town-sponsored tables, including one I'm very excited about. Our town clerk, Jessica Brunel, is hosting a voter registration table that happens to be the last day to register to vote. So the clerk will have a table. The police department has one. Their school resource officer program has one. The Board of Health has one, and many other departments will be there as well. The Tyngsborough Board of Health is hosting a free blood pressure clinic at Town Hall on August 22nd, 2024 from 9 to 11 a.m. They are also currently distributing Narcan rescue kits at no charge. You can see some of the disposal stations set up throughout Town Hall. They're also available with additional information at the Board of Health. These are being funded as a part of funds that we received through the National Opioid Settlement. The money is still coming in every day. I feel like there's a new settlement, and there's a working group within Public Safety, the Board of Health, and our office that's working on ways to use that within the guidelines. It is restricted for certain purposes, but this is obviously one of those uses. I'm happy to share that we are moving on now to the construction document phase, of our new DPW building. The plans received approval from the Sewer Commission at their meeting on Thursday, and our Superintendent of Public Works, Jake Zwicker, has spent the last few weeks working with DPW staff to ensure that the plan as presented is sufficient for not just our needs today, but for the future needs of the DPW. With our current schedule, we plan to release bids by the 3rd week of September, and if all goes according to plan, we'd see construction start in October. As a reminder, at this phase, we're working on the shell of the pre-engineered steel building, and we'll look to complete the inside at a later date. Originally, that was our plan because funding was tight, but we had a last-minute infusion of what was expiring earmarks that covered the full $75,000 design. So that released some of that burden with the new $75,000 earmark. We are actually in a much better place, and we may be able to do some of the interior outfitting sooner than later. The Attorney General's office has notified the town that all of the zoning amendments from the May 2024 annual town meeting have been approved, with the exception of Article 21, which was an article that reaffirmed the town's prohibition of solid waste uses in the industrial district. They didn't disapprove of it yet. They've asked for an extension, and we agreed, so they'll be issuing their determination on that article by September 26th. The approval did include the 2 articles that were relative to the MBTA Communities Act, so that's a big win there. We are now just waiting on our final compliance determination from the Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities. And then finally, I just want to share that we are in the planning stages of a public farewell and appreciation celebration for Police Chief Richard Howe to celebrate his 29 years of service to the town of Tyngsborough. The event will take place at the Old Town Hall from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Wednesday, September 25th. We'll have a formal announcement later this week, so stay tuned for more information.
Thank you. I'll open it up to the board for questions or comments.
Mr. Chair,
Sure.
for the DPW building, of course, very excited that this is moving forward here. Just so the residents know, the developer, the one that's going to build a warehouse or a warehouse-type project in the back of the DPW, they are going to run sewer and water to the old building and the new building. And I didn't see this in here, Colin, but they also are going to pitch in some money for the DPW building.
Correct. As a part of that agreement, they are providing up to $120,000 for the pad that the building will sit on. They're also bringing utilities to the site.
Yep. Okay. So I'm just very excited to see that finally seem like it's we kind of have some dates of what
Yes.
it looks like to do this. That was it.
Mr. Schneider.
Mr. Chair, I am equally thrilled that you enrolled 10 people in that Civic Leadership Academy. I think that can be sort of the farm system for people that eventually might want to join committees or offices in the town. And I certainly hope that we continue to do this on an annual or biannual basis. But I really think this is going to be a great tool for the town, and people are going to benefit from this tremendously. So thank you.
Yeah, and just to echo, thank you. We have Roni and Colin here, so, it's great that you guys have come up with the program. I think anything that we can do to help with the success of that, it's great that you have 10 people signed up. If you need anything from us, I'm sure you won't be shy. But I agree. I think it's a great thing. I would love to see if this could expand and help jumpstart maybe some things in the schools, because I think we have some opportunities there to, this town has a lot of people who still live here, who grew up here, and I don't think that's going to change. I think, a lot of these folks are here, so it would be great if they learned in school how things work and how they can be involved. As I always say, a huge amount of your tax money is spent here locally, and you actually have a lot more influence on how that money is spent locally than you do at a national level, where you really don't have a lot of say. So I think it's fantastic, good program. I do think that a lot of stuff going on, and I encourage people to not just look at this week's updates, but they can also find prior meeting updates. They can do it as podcasts. There's a variety of things. There's a lot of people that come up to me and say, hey, what's happening with this? Or what is going on there? And it's like, it was right there in Colin's update. So I encourage people to perhaps look at those as well. Those are some things, wealth of information that's there. So thank you again for a good report. Look forward to seeing the podcast and on various media outlets.
Wherever you get your podcasts.